Pompey Sound. Updates, the latest from Fratton Park, on the hour, every hour. Fueled by Piglet's Pantry. Click pigletspantry.co.uk to get your fill.
Pompey Chief Executive Andy Cullen has played a dead bat when asked about Callum Lang and Preston, saying, "There is going to be speculation about players coming in and players going out. However, we are never going to comment on players because it doesn't help us, regardless of whether it's true or not. As you start to build up a really talented pool of players, which we believe we are doing at the moment with a number of different individuals, with Callum obviously one of them, then we're always going to get rumours, conjecture, and so-called interest. Callum is really enjoying his football for Pompey and our focus, and Callum's focus, is on getting fit and available for selection for the start of the season at Oxford. I am not going to comment on anything in terms of unsubstantiated links with him."
Yeah, and as usual, Andy Cullen gets it dead right. He played a straight bat to the question about is there a link between Lang and Preston, because he would play a dead bat to inquiries about any Pompey player who might or might not have had an approach from another club. And he'll play a dead bat about any approaches that Pompey are making to other clubs about their players. Certain information will squeeze out, but it's not for the chief executive to queer negotiations, to make life more difficult for Pompey, our club, by telling it as it is. A certain amount of transparency and honesty, yes, but this is also a gambling game. This is a game of poker, if you like. It's where people are negotiating about the price of a second-hand car on a lot, or the price of a house or a flat. There's always room for negotiation. There's always room for wiggle. So the wiggling and the negotiating is going on. And whilst it's going on, even if it's in the sort of like pre-situation where is it possible to have a conversation, one club might ring another club and say, about so-and-so, and they'll say, we'll get back to you. We will assess the situation. So you get these kind of pre-trials, if you like, all right, before the real negotiations begin. And whilst they're going on, it's absolutely crucial that nobody, apart from the negotiators, know what is going on. It's very frustrating for the fan. Of course, the fan who pays their season ticket, who buys their merch, who follows them all around the country in particular, they do feel a special bond with the club. Every Pompey fan feels a special bond with the club. Every fan of every club feels a special bond with that club. But it doesn't extend to ownership, except during one purple patch when Pompey was indeed owned by supporters. And they kept the club going. They were never going to be able to fund all the improvements that were necessary to the ground and the training ground, the infrastructure as they like to call it. That's all going on. It's gone on. It's happened. We've got a media centre, a new pitch, training ground, now ours, new surface, stands being improved, brought up to the necessary standards. Otherwise, we'd have a capacity of about 8,000 and we would be going nowhere, but we're going somewhere. And the most important place to be going somewhere is on the pitch. And we should be happy and proud now that there's a possibility that some of the Pompey players, one at least for sure, is being sought after by another club for a possible significant fee. That means we're going places on the pitch. Got a better ground, we've got a better training facility, all of those things. We've got a better squad. Let's hope it's a better squad. Time will tell. New season starts in under 3 weeks.
John Swift is as professional with his words as he is with the ball at his feet. Speaking to the official website, Swift said, "I grew up just down the road and my family are now only 20 minutes away, so it's a surreal feeling for me. It's exciting for them to be able to come and watch me here after being all around the country. I'm looking forward to getting started. As soon as I knew my time at West Brom was over and Pompey were interested, then I knew I wanted to come here. It was all I could think about. This is a great club in a great city, with great facilities and great fans, so it's definitely an exciting journey for me. I'm really happy to be here at such a good side that's on the up. Everyone has a lot of good things to say about the manager. We had some good conversations before I signed, and I think that the way he wants the team to play will really suit me." Despite his Pompey connections, Swift only made his first Fratton appearance when West Brom visited last season. He said, "Even though the result that day went for us, it was tough to come here, and I think everyone in the league said the same thing. I remember coming to watch a game when I was younger, and Ronaldinho was playing for AC Milan. While I also visited the ground when I signed the first time. But after that, the next time I was at Fratton Park was the game for West Brom, so I was buzzing to come back and play.
It's always good to have local lads in the side, isn't it? It's not that long ago that football teams visiting Pompey, say they were from up north, you'd look at the programme notes and you'd see that the majority of their players were born 20, 30 miles, no more than that, from the club. Although there was a time in Pompey's history when most of our players came from the north, because football had been flourishing in the north a little bit earlier than it did down here in the south. But that apart, most teams had a strong backbone of local lads in the side for a whole variety of reasons. Just transport was different, communications were different. But nowadays it's rare to have an old boy in your side. It's rare and it's a shame, because it's just nice to know that once upon a time, one or two or three of the team that you're shouting yourself hoarse to encourage, OK, they'll contain a few players from abroad, of course. In our case, quite a few players from Australia. You can't get further away from the island than Australia. But we've also got some lads who, well, they didn't sit in the seats because there weren't seats back then. Well, there were seats, but generally speaking, people stood on the terraces. But basically, they've watched a game or some games from where we are going to sit on the first Saturday of Fratton Park. Is it Norwich? They've shared the experience with us of encouraging, of trying to blow the ball into the opposition goal for Pompey. They know what it's like to be one of the crowd. They know what a hot dog tastes like. Pretty indifferent sometimes, but that's another discussion. You know what I'm talking about. They're one of us. They were once part of the faithful. And now we're cheering them on. It's great. And a very professional interview given by John Swift there. There will always be suspicions that the negotiations were quite complicated by the fact that he understandably, and his people understandably, wanted to get as much money for their man as possible. That is how it works. Of course, he wanted to come back, but he also wanted to come back on the best possible terms for him and his family that he could secure. Now, all that's over and done with. He said the right words. He signed on the dotted line. Now, let's see those legs in action.
According to news agency The 72, Portsmouth are eyeing Club Bruges goalkeeper Joseph Bursic amid interest in Jordan Archer, according to the news. Portsmouth are looking to kick on after surviving in their first season back in the Championship. Pompey were in the relegation fight for much for the campaign, but inspired home form led them to safety, finishing 16th. John Massinho and company will have survival as the priority again, but summer business could dictate just how much further they can kick on when the 2025-26 season gets underway in a little over 2 weeks. It hasn't been the busiest window at Fratton Park, but further departures lay ahead, and that will prompt signings. One man wanted elsewhere is backup keeper Jordan Archer, who has interest from Salford City. Now, according to the news, Portsmouth already have a potential replacement in mind in the form of ex-England U21's international Joseph Bursic. The 25-year-old, formerly of Stoke City, is on the books of Belgian side Club Bruges, but could be on the move this summer. Bursic spent last season on loan in Scotland with Hibernian, and he is now being eyed as a potential cover option for Pompey. Alfie Whiteman also remains on trial after his Tottenham Hotspur exit, so there are targets in mind if Archer is to depart.
Assuming that there's anything in this latest report, Joseph John Bursic is under the microscope by Pompey, then it's clear that the club are absolutely serious about having 4 active working goalkeepers on their books, largely because they want to have training matches, 2 small-sided games going on with an authentic goalkeeper between each set of sticks. So John Joseph Bursic's an interesting character. He sounds, doesn't he, and he plays for Bruges, or he's attached to Bruges, and therefore you tend to assume he's continental, but in fact he was born in Lambeth. He's 25, he stands 6'2". He is currently on loan with Hibernian, but he belongs to Club Bruges. He started his youth career at Wimbledon, where he spent 8 years before he joined Stoke and he appeared for Stoke 50 times. That's the first team. Let's have a look. 2018 to 2023. That's going back when he was a teenager, which is interesting. Then he was loaned to Hensford Town, Telford, Accrington, Doncaster, Peterborough, Lincoln. It must be very gruelling for these players to get loaned out. This is over a period of 2.5 years. 6-7 different clubs he's loaned to. Made a bunch of appearances for the first few, and then went to Lincoln. Oh, another man who knows where the toilets are at Lincoln's ground. But he didn't make any appearances for them. He's been with Bruges now since 2023. Hasn't made any appearances for them, but made 13 appearances for Hibs, who he was with up until now. And the Tottenham boy, of course, Alfie Whitman, he is being looked at by Salford. Now, I'm a bit shaky on this one. Is this not the club that's been put together by the 4 or 5 ex-Manchester United player, now millionaires and billionaires and what have you, as a slow burn project? At least a slow burn project to get out of non-league football and head towards the top compared to what Wrexham have done. So if that happens, we never saw him. We wouldn't know what he looked like. No offence there, simple fact of the matter. But good luck to him, as we wish good luck to all ex-Pompey players, even if they haven't had a chance to put their bags down.